The Lakers were on a tear. Their 8 straight wins in a row had them looking like the team to beat in the Western Conference. But all of that momentum came to a screeching halt on March 8th against the Boston Celtics, when LeBron James went down with a strained groin. At first, LeBron James would downplay this injury, saying that there wasn't a lot of concern and that he'd go day to day in treating it. And then, we would get a huge scare saying that he could in fact miss significant time. During this quote-unquote significant time that Bron would miss, the Lakers would get a glimpse at their future. You know, the one that I talked about in my most recent Austin Reaves video. The same future that doesn't include a LeBron James who keeps loudly inching closer and closer to retirement. How would this future look? Well, including their loss to the Celtics on March 8th, the Lakers would lose 4 straight games before finally getting a win against Phoenix. Their win against Phoenix had shown that the Lakers were working to weather the storm, but it was clear that the same magic that they had been producing before Bron went out was gone. March 20th, this dismantled team would lose big against the Milwaukee Bucks, with Dalton Connect and Bronny James being their leading scorers. There's a lot to unpack there, which we don't in this one, but don't worry, we'll get some content up breaking down that Bronny James situation soon. The final score of this game would be 118-89. The Lakers were hurt badly. There was no Luka, no Reaves, and no LeBron, so there should have been no big deal, right? Their next game against the Chicago Bulls, they wouldn't have that same excuse. But before we go any further, if you are enjoying the content, then be sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you don't miss any upcoming uploads. Underdog's Pick'em game is a slam dunk. Just pick 2 to 8 players and then choose if they will go higher or lower on their stats, and you could win up to 1,000 times your cash faster than a LeBron James breakaway. Sign up with code COOP to claim your free pick, plus first-time deposit offer of up to $1,000 in bonus credits. Visit UnderdogFantasy.com or download the app. And don't forget to use code COOP to lock in your bonus. Using code COOP is the perfect way to show the channel some love and kick your game nights up a notch. Thank you, Underdog, for the sponsor. For some teams that didn't handle business earlier in the year, the final stretch of the NBA regular season is comparable to the last few miles of a marathon. You've overcome so many challenges just to put yourself in contention, but if you don't execute down the stretch, it can all come crashing down. A strong regular season record doesn't just help you dodge the play-in, it can also lock in home court advantage for the first round of the playoffs. And for the Lakers, that's huge. They're 30-10 at home, which is flat out dominant compared to the 17-20 that they are on the road. That extra game at home could definitely make all of the difference for a team that thrives off of its home crowd. The Lakers roster is packed with veterans, which makes avoiding the play-in even more critical. They don't need extra games wearing them down. It's all about keeping stars like Luka, Doncic, and LeBron James fresh. Plus, head coach JJ Redick gets exactly what every head coach wants: more time to strategize. Without the play-in, he can fully focus on their first round matchup, fine-tuning scouting reports, perfecting defensive schemes, and tightening up his rotation. For a team chasing a championship, every little edge matters. That extra downtime could be the difference between a hectic last-second scramble and a confident, well-prepared game plan. And for JJ Redick, who is known for his tactical approach, a full week to dissect an opponent is priceless. For those of you who have been living under a rock and didn't know, JJ Redick lives to game plan. After the Lakers' victory over the Blazers on February 20th, head coach JJ Redick made it clear that he wouldn't be getting much rest before their showdown against Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets. "I thought our guys' conviction to execute and stay committed to the game plan was outstanding," Redick said. "I told the team that there are certain moments during the season that you circle on a calendar. Honestly, I haven't slept much since we left the court in Portland. Our coaching staff invested countless hours into preparing for tonight. I pictured our guys playing with intensity, but they exceeded even my highest expectations. Their effort and resilience truly stood out." Redick's level of preparation for what was a regular season game ultimately paid off, leading the Lakers to a key win and limiting Jokic to one of his ugliest performances all year. I know that the NBA is oftentimes called a players' league, But coaching still matters. A decent coach can turn what would be a hopeless matchup against a team like the Nuggets into a genuine belief that you can beat them on any given night. Exhibit A. Here's Darvin Ham talking about Jokic after the Lakers lost to Denver 4-1 in last year's playoffs.
Taller than everybody, wingspan, skill set. It's like, shit, I don't know what to do. You know what I mean?
Compare Ham admitting that he had no idea what to do against the Nuggets to Mike Malone saying that his team was outplayed and outcoached after the Lakers beat the Nuggets in February. On March 22nd, with the Lakers needing to shake back in a huge way, LeBron James returned from his groin injury to play against the Chicago Bulls. But instead of sparking a Lakers resurgence, his return turned into a nightmare. Heading into their matchup with Los Angeles, the Chicago Bulls were riding a hot streak, winning 6 of their previous 8 games. During that stretch, the Bulls posted the 6th best net rating in the league, placing them ahead of teams like the New York Knicks, Memphis Grizzlies, Milwaukee Bucks, and even the Cleveland Cavaliers. In this matchup, the Lakers would see just how good that the Bulls had been playing. The Bulls would hand the Lakers their worst loss in the history of the matchup, dominating wire to wire en route to a staggering 146-115 victory. Chicago was lights out offensively, shooting a disgusting 56 of 96 from the field, and a scorching 19 of 41 from beyond the arc. Kobe White was unstoppable, dropping 36 points while only missing 5 shots, and Buzelis added 31 points with incredible efficiency also, missing just 6 of his attempts. But the real story of the night might have been Josh Giddey's crazy all-around performance. Giddey posted a monster triple-double, nearly achieving a rare quadruple-double, finishing with 15 points, 10 rebounds, 17 assists, and a remarkable 8 steals. Though Giddey typically isn't known as some crazy defender, he completely disrupted the Lakers' offense, wreaking havoc on them all night, and proving to be a menace on that side of the ball for this game.
8 rebounds, 6 assists.
With 3, with 2, with 1. That's good defense knocking it away from Doncic as he and Giddey have some words.
As for the Lakers, LeBron returned to action with a modest 17 points, clearly still working off rust from his recent absence. Luka Doncic opened the game aggressively, ultimately finishing with 34 points, while Austin Reaves contributed a steady 25. On paper, these performances seemed solid enough, but individual stat lines quickly lose significance when your team surrenders 146 points to a squad that is fighting for positioning in the play-in tournament. The Lakers should have been expecting Chicago's best punch, and even though JJ was, it seemed like the players on the floor weren't. It was like they all had expected everybody to be scared of the big bad Lakers now that they were healthy again. This game, the Lakers gave up 74 points in the paint. The Chicago Bulls don't have a Zion Williamson, they don't have a Giannis Antetokounmpo, and they don't have a Shaq. You shouldn't be giving up 74 points in the paint to this team. JJ Redick called this the Lakers' worst defensive performance of the entire season, and honestly, that's kind of hard to argue. This was exactly the kind of game where a healthy Anthony Davis would have made a significant difference. While even an elite defensive player of the year caliber big like Davis can't stop every perimeter breakdown, his presence alone alters opponents' decision making, providing a critical layer of rim protection that keeps opposing offenses from relentlessly attacking the basket. Shortly after their loss to the Bulls, the Lakers would find themselves facing another sub-500 opponent in the Orlando Magic, but once again, they looked bad. Their offense was stagnant, and this was a problem that was made worse by a defensive effort that was virtually non-existent. Defensively, the Lakers looked slow and disconnected, nothing like the smothering defensive unit that had recently established them as one of the most intimidating teams in the NBA. Unfortunately for the Lakers, the 118 points that they gave up to the Magic would be a step in the right direction, but that 118 that they gave up to the Magic would still be a ways away from the 103.9 points per game that they were giving up during their 8-game winning streak. Considering the Lakers' grueling schedule of 6 games in 8 nights and several key players still working back towards full health, It's understandable that they would experience some defensive regression. Fatigue impacts communication, rotations, and overall defensive intensity. However, understandable doesn't necessarily mean acceptable. During that Lakers winning streak, to me, Bron was the Lakers' most impressive defender.
He's one-on-one and stolen! It's a two-on-one. Here comes LeBron, hoping to block it! LeBron James blocked it!
Not only did he anchor the defense, but he was also a force on offense, putting up a whopping 30.6 points, 10.5 rebounds, and 5.5 assists per game. And don't chalk all of this up to the Luka effect either. He was bringing this level of energy before Luka even arrived. I couldn't believe what I was seeing from Bron. I was surprised to see him consistently putting forth that level of effort during the regular season. At his age, sustaining that level of intensity night after night carries significant risk. Although he was looking like one of the Lakers' best defenders pre-injury, immediately after coming back, just like the rest of the team, his low energy would be evident on both ends of the floor.
Giddey controlling the basketball. He's going to say, get over to the other side where Williams is, and has a wide open three. And it rolls around and settles in. And it's a 20-point lead, and they turn it over again. White, make it 23.
LeBron's return has been a wild ride. After those earlier struggles that we highlighted from the team against the Bulls and the Magic, against the Pacers, we would see him practically disappear in the first half, only scoring 2 points, just to resurface at the most critical moment, tipping in the game-winning basket that I'm sure left even Stephen A. Smith stunned.
Luka with 2 for the win. Tipped up and in. Will it count? LeBron James at the buzzer.
And then came the collapse against the Bulls, where it felt like LeBron James single-handedly fumbled the finish. Yes, Josh Giddey's miracle shot delivered the final blow, but if Bron hadn't drifted off during those crucial last possessions, then Giddey's heroics probably never happened.
Get it into Vucevic, quick pass to Williams, big shot for 3, good. 2-point game, 9.8 left. Oh, loose ball, Giddey, the steal, wait for the lead! Yeah!
Big time players make big time plays.
My man Bron was already thinking about what team that he was going to be choosing on Madden for the night. Apparently, Bron is a top-ranked Madden player. Top-ranked or not, though, there's no shot that Bron is cooking me on Madden. Reaves tried to bail this team out and get the Lakers their revenge, but Josh Giddey had to let everybody know what time it was.
Bulls are out of timeouts, 2 seconds left, Giddey for the win! Go!
Oh my God! I cannot believe this! Elizabeth, I'm coming, baby!
Do you want to know how Bron responded just a few games after that tough lapse against the Bulls where he looked out of it, resembling the same Bron that Cleaning the Glass says made the Lakers' defense 3 points worse per 100 possessions this season? With the game in the balance against the Rockets, he delivered a vintage block on Alperen Şengün, capping off an outstanding defensive performance that he had been putting together all night. To go from that game to their game against the Warriors, I just have no words. In the Lakers' game against the Warriors, I thought that I was watching an all-star game with how back and forth that it was. Austin Reaves started hot, then late in the game he caught fire again, matching the energy that Bron had been on the entire game. On a crucial possession, I was sure that they'd give Reaves another crack to chip away at the deficit, but a struggling Luka Doncic decided to force the issue, only to get stripped by Draymond Green, who as usual showed off how good that he is defensively. Just like that, the Warriors would put the game out of reach. That moment really highlights the blessing and the curse of this loaded Lakers roster. They're so talented that any one of their big three can be the primary option to close out a game. But sometimes the hot hand gets left out in the cold, just like we saw against Golden State. LeBron was just getting his legs back in those earlier games, so the roller coaster of a return from him and this team isn't really a major concern. But it is something to monitor, because if this team wants a chance to win it all this season with their hole at big, then they're going to have to be firing on all cylinders. Pelinka, Dwight is available. That's all that I'm going to say. I'm actually starting to see people blame Luka more and more for his poor efficiency as a Laker. As a Laker, Luka has been shooting less than 42% from the field. That's less than ideal for Luka, but at the end of the day, Luka is still Luka. He can do something like start 0 of 7 against a bad team like the Pelicans and then finish with 35, 6 and 6. But seriously, if you guys want me to break down Luka's struggles as a Laker, then just let me know in the comments below. Let me know how you guys have felt about LeBron's return and this Lakers team overall. Anyways guys, there's some more going on in the basketball world that I need to be covering. So clicking the video on the screen right now and using code COOP for Underdog are both great ways to support this channel. I'm GetLikeCoop, bringing you guys the scoop until our next upload.